The Talking Walking Tree by Ivan Yang. A wicked witch turned a beautiful oak tree into an evil talking walking tree. Because he could walk and talk, the talking walking tree began to destroy every tree in the whole world. He only spoke to evil trees like pineapple, apple, and banana trees. The talking walking tree was tough, but the two robots did not give up. One was called AT, and the other was called Half Red Black, or HRB for short. AT and HRB cared about the trees because they gave everyone fresh air and fruit. To stop the evil talking walking tree, they thought of a plan. They thought, and they thought. Finally, they had a plan. AT would distract the talking walking tree by juggling pineapples and apples and bananas. HRB would make the talking walking tree dizzy by running in circles around him very fast. After 5 hours of hard work, they finally defeated the walking talking tree. Hooray for the two robots!
Away and Returning by Jojo Yang. Nimue woke up. She was in a place she didn't recognize. She walked to the mirror and closely examined herself. She had a million questions. What is this place? Why was she here? She was in a strange girl's body. But I was dead. Nimue decided to go downstairs. There, she saw him. The memories came back as she recalled the man. That night, thunder roared, rain poured down. Nimue hastily ran inside a dark valley. Soon enough, Nimue was cornered by the witch hunters. With no weapon to defend herself, she was left absolutely helpless. Master Marvin, kill this witch! With the swish of Marvin's soul sword, Nimue's lifeless body crashed to the cold, hard ground. The wind blew gently. The thunderstorm calmed down. Nimue stared at the person standing in front of her with deep hatred. It was Marvin, leader of witch hunters. The person who took her life. Nimue could not believe this. Was she actually alive, in the body of a young girl, living in the same place as him? Good morning, said Marvin. Nimue asked herself, why am I with this stupid man, that detestable imbecile? Nimue couldn't control herself like a wild animal set free. She had to escape. She ran into a room that was pitch black. There was a machine. She walked to it. It said, Time Machine. Nimue knew this was her chance to get revenge. She carefully pressed the open switch and jumped into the time machine. Revenge.
Red by Sarah Chow. Red is by far my favorite color. The color of warmth, passion, love, and kisses. I sighed. I couldn't care less about gym class. All we really did was listen to a fat man in his 40s yelling that he can run faster than we ever could. Like, we get it. You aren't overweight. But turns out, what we're doing today is worse. Dodgeball. Who decided throwing rubber balls at each other at high speeds would be a good children's game? Oh God, this isn't going to end well. But also the color of death, blood, a beating heart. I called it. A ball flew right into my face, hitting my nose dead on. The rules are waist and below, but some want to show off. At least I got out of playing. But damn, did that hurt. Bloody nose is just a small price to pay for freedom. I didn't think it would turn out to be an apocalypse, like something that's depicted in movies. I just didn't want to have to play dodgeball. The nurse sent me back. She said she didn't want to deal with me. Apparently somehow people had made their way into the school. Sending me into the hallways where the possible kidnappers were probably wasn't the brightest idea, but whatever. I opened the doors to the gym and was met with the sight of blood. Red. The gym was covered in red. Limbs torn from bodies, as the metallic smell took over the room.
Sci by Anthony Lee. John carefully slipped through the woods as a shortcut to avoid the school bully. A twig snapped behind him and he jumped 5 feet up. He was extremely cautious. He waited for a minute and continued. As he walked, he noticed something strange. Even though it was early in the morning, it got darker as he walked on until it was pitch black. John felt something behind him, but he didn't get the time needed to turn around because he blacked out. John had a nightmare about Andy making fun of his name. Yo guys, I need to use the John, imaginary Andy mocked. His goon snickered, making faces at John, insulting him. John was used to it, but this time Andy turned around and punched him. John didn't feel a thing. He just woke up in sweat. He looked around and remembered what had happened before he blacked out. John's shoulders grew increasingly tense after recalling, but the site he was at seemed so peaceful. There weren't many leaves on the ground before, but now the ground was carpeted with leaves. John decided to check it out, and he gently swept away the leaves. There was a hole under the carpet, and John decided that he was brave enough to go in. It seemed quite shallow, but when he jumped in, it was quite a fall. He even sprained an ankle. He looked around to see a cyborg staring at him with a glowing red eye.
Nebulon, here we come. We're gonna crash land! Euronymous Prime. What did I do? Said Blur. Wait, Blur, you can transform to an airship. I said Ultramarcus. Look, we're not in luck and the ship's gonna crash in 2 astral minutes. Quick, run. But they're out of luck. Wham! The ship crash landed. Ooh, Nebulon, we're in, said Euronymous Prime. Autobots became headmasters when they put their heads down. And the Nebulons climbed into their headmasters. Charge! Someone shouted. Who? Said Blur. Charge! Must have been the invisible Decepticon Stinkflake, said Ultra Magnus. Oh yes I am, said Stinkflake. But then Stinkflake fainted from his own stink. The Autobots celebrated by taking their heads off. But how are we gonna build a ship? There's no energon here. Then Ron's Prime said, you can fly to take us with you. Low energy. I have low energy, said Blur. Restore, said Ultra Magnus, and it worked.